Hey guys, welcome to MNMM IELTS. Today I want to share 5 most important writing tips. If you follow these tips for your writing section, it will help you a lot to get your score in the most efficient way, and it will also save a lot of time, because a lot of time what happens is we work really hard, we are working hard, we are practicing a lot of things in our writing section, but sometimes we just don't follow those small little tips and techniques that we need to follow, and because of which we may take a little longer to clear our exam than what we should be taking. So let us focus on these 5 tips today, and please make sure you take a good note of them, and whenever you sit and practice for your writing section, you follow all of them at the same time. Let's start. The very first and one of the most important tip according to me is to read and analyze the question first and then start answering, especially when it comes to writing essay, because we all know that there are several different types of essays, right? Like advantages and disadvantages, like direct question essays, like problem solution essay. Every question expects a different level of approach or different way of answering from a student. So you cannot have a standardized template or a standardized way of writing an essay for no matter what essay you get. So what happens in a lot of questions or types of essay is that we are in a rush, we don't read the question properly, we don't understand the question properly, we just go through it, maybe an overview or a quick look at the question, and we just start writing the essay. In such cases, a lot of students, they forget to address the main idea that the question is asking you to address, because of which you may have written a very good essay with a lot of good vocabulary, no spelling mistakes, great grammar, but because you did not address the ideas correctly, you may not get a very good score, and then you will be thinking that I wrote a very good essay, then why did I not get a good band? So reading the essay question or reading any question in your writing section and then analyzing that what are they asking. For example, if they are asking you to cover 2 ideas, you have to make sure you understand that there are 2 ideas in the essays. Like for example, they say cover the advantages and the disadvantages. You have to make sure that you write down the advantages and the disadvantages as well. If you just write down the advantages and you do not write down the disadvantages, you will lose a lot of marks, right? So that was the first tip from me for all of you, all right? The next one. The next tip is not to write long sentences. A lot of times I have seen a lot of students, they prefer writing long sentences thinking that that gives them a lot of room to add fancy words, I mean different range of vocabulary words, which is not wrong. But the problem is in long sentences, sometimes it is very easy to go off track. What I'm trying to say is, let's say you're discussing about environment, and because you are writing a very long sentence, you might suddenly start discussing something else but not environment. Or what happens is a lot of grammatical errors also happen when the sentences are too long. So prefer writing short and average length sentences, straight to the point, covering your ideas, than writing long sentences and making a lot of grammatical errors. The next tip that I have for you is, please do not memorize any template and write down your answers, especially for essay writing. I have seen a lot of comments, I have seen a lot of concerns and questions from different people, students saying, can I use this template? We never recommend any student to use any template, nor do we provide any such templates, because you have to understand one thing, that you can get any essay in exam. You have no idea of what essay can you get in your exam, or what writing topic will you get in your exam, and how many essays can you memorize? You cannot memorize a lot of essays. The best way to tackle IELTS writing is to practice different range of essays, different types of essays, so that you develop that natural sense of vocabulary, grammar, and it is very spontaneous in the exam. You are writing everything spontaneously, naturally. Everything is coming to you naturally. The ideas are coming to you naturally. You're not making errors. If you memorize a template and write down in the exam, no matter how good your template is, no matter how good the vocabulary is, the grammar is, the examiner will understand that you are using a template. So it is not that easy to fool the examiners in IELTS exam. They are very experienced people. They have a background of several years of teaching industry. So we may be smart, but we are not smarter than those examiners. So I would never recommend you to memorize a template and just write it down, because sometimes what happens is you may have written a fantastic template, but it is kind of not matching with the essay title you have got. Or even if it is matching with the essay title you have got, for some reason the examiner will understand your pattern of writing is not in one direction. Maybe it's not matching with the previous paragraph, maybe it's not matching with your personality that you have shown in other questions. They will identify it and they will not give you a very good score or a very good band, and you will end up wasting your time, your money and your energy, and a lot of disappointment will come because you will feel that I gave my best but I did not get a good score. The fourth tip that I have for you is spellings. Spelling mistakes are very, very common in IELTS exam or any exam we give, especially when it is typing. So if you are giving a computer based IELTS exam, chances of making spelling mistakes are more because of the typing errors that we do when we type, especially when we type very fast or we are under that pressure of giving the exam very, getting good score. We will make a lot of errors. And I'm not saying that if you're giving a paper based exam, this tip is not for you. We do make mistakes when we give paper based exam, and when we are writing spellings, we may make a lot of spelling mistakes. It is absolutely important that you focus a lot on your spellings if you need a very good writing score, because spellings cannot be neglected. American spellings, British spellings, Australian spellings are acceptable in IELTS, so you have to stick to any one of them, and if you follow any one of them, you're all good. So whenever you write anything, you have to make sure that when you finish writing, you check your work, you go through every single word you have written and make sure that there is no spelling error, so that you don't lose your marks unnecessarily, because you may have worked so hard, you have written a fantastic idea, a very good idea, constructive idea, your grammar is correct, but then because you've made a lot of spelling mistakes, you're losing a lot of marks. So please be mindful of spellings. The last tip that I have for you is prefer writing your answer in paragraphs, not in bullet points. When you write down your answers in IELTS, they need to be very professional, because when you're writing the answers, when you're attempting those questions, you are actually showcasing what your English level is. You are getting judged, you are getting scored for your English level, for your English, your grammar level, your spellings level, your writing level, everything is getting scored. So prefer writing in a very professional way. Whatever ideas you have to make sure that you first read the question, just note down the ideas that you wish to cover in your essay or maybe in your letter or anything that is associated with writing. Whatever you are writing, whatever you wish to cover, just write down a few bullet points in rough, the ideas that you wish to cover. However, when you describe those ideas, when you describe the examples associated with those ideas, it has to be in a very professional paragraph format and not in bullet points, and that will give you a very good IELTS writing band. So having said that, if you have liked this video, do stick to this family and subscribe the channel so that you can get a lot of videos associated with IELTS, and it can help you to clear your IELTS exam in the shortest span of time with the easiest possible tricks and techniques. And if there is any concern associated with IELTS, please feel free to put that in the comment section below, and we are more than happy to address your concerns. With that, I will take your leave and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.